Hi, I'm Ben.
And I'm Chelsea.
And this is Supernatural Love. Welcome to our YouTube channel,
where we talk about making God the center of all relationships.
If you guys are loving these marriage myth videos, go ahead and subscribe down here. If you want more, look up here. Your wedding day, right? It's beautiful. It's awesome. All ththese people love you.
Ours was pretty good.
Oh, it was so much fun. there was a lot of dancing. If you want to see some of those moves,
oh my goodness,
keep watching our channel. But in the midst of all of it, you know, you have these cards and these gifts and these people that love you.
Yeah.
And they want to speak some words of wisdom to you. And some of them are even written here on this fine picture that you see on the set behind us. Lots of people that love us. But one of these things you will find given to you as a newlywed couple. It is this myth of do not go to bed angry. Stay up and fight. And that's not a good idea for several reasons.
No, not at all. There are many different reasons, but in our situation, I mean, in the first year or two or three or five.
Let's say 5.
Okay. Years of marriage, we were just kind of working out the kinks of how to live with each other because we didn't live with each other before we got married. So as soon as we got married, we're all of a sudden, here we are, roommates, in love.
New life.
Woo, figuring out how to do this kind of new life together. And sometimes I just don't like his snoring. Anywho, and there's a whole lot of other little kinks, and there are other arguments and conflicts that we have gone through, and rightly so. There are things that we need to hash out because we were newlyweds. We need to hash out those things together in order to make this work. But there's a lot of arguments that you spend a lot of your energy and time on that are actually not necessary.
Most of them are actually really small things that get blown up into a big thing.
Absolutely. And so a lot of times, not naming any names, I would definitely pick a lot of the petty things and make them big. I know. And so we would fight literally until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
No joke, you guys.
Just because we held in the back of our conscience, we held that myth to a core. We cannot go to bed angry. We need to stay up and work this out because if we don't, then our marriage is not going to work.
Yeah.
And that's a myth.
It's a big myth. I want to dispel this myth for you guys. Go to Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26. And most people get the logic for this myth from the second part of this verse. So the second part of this verse says this: do not let the sun go down on your anger, which basically is don't go to bed angry. See, but the problem with that is they forgot to read the first part of the verse. The first part of the verse says, be angry and do not sin. So anger in and of itself is not a sin. It's an emotion. It's normal.
Absolutely.
People get angry all the time. If you've ever driven a car, you know people get angry. It's just part of human nature.
Yes.
So the Bible's not saying don't be angry. It's saying that when you're angry, don't sin. Now, you guys, when you stay up late after we're working shift work.
Or taking care of kids all day.
Yeah. It's a recipe for disaster if you're staying up late and trying to duke it out, honestly. So learn from us. Give the other person the gift of sleep.
Or better yet, give the other person the gift of time to process. Because sometimes we cannot hash them out right away. Sometimes we're too angry to talk about it, and we just need to process and cool it down. I've learned to allow Holy Spirit to help me. When's the right time to bring this up? And at that time, when it is the right time to bring it up, how do I react? Please help me with my anger because I am angry for such and such a reason, but help me to explain it better. Because I've done a lot of that in my own life and a lot of work like that in my own life, it's helped so much. And I know that Ben also has done a lot of work in his own life in order for us to work out conflicts.
You may have some kind of an issue in your heart. You might be being triggered by something, and it may have more to do with you than with the other person. So having that time to process actually allows conversation to happen with God, who helps to filter through our emotions. This whole concept of not letting the sun go down on your anger, he's actually talking about you not being led by your emotions, because your emotions will get the best of you every time. That's why we need to submit those things unto God.
Absolutely. I think for me as a woman, the best advice that I actually received during that time was, is this going to make a difference tomorrow in your marriage? Because if it's not, then you can change the toilet paper roll. No problem.
Yeah.
You can do the dishes and no problem. Because it needs to be something that's actually going to change significantly in this marriage to actually be able to do the conflict, to go through the conflict together.
Don't pick those battles, guys.
Just don't.
It's not
go
worth
there.
it. You know, if anything, do dishes together.
Yes, you can make fun out of it too, especially if you're married. You know, you can give a little hints. We do the dishes together, baby.
So, what are we trying to say? We are saying go to sleep. Do not stay up and allow the pressure to build and build and build. In fact, Chelsea and I gave each other a code word.
Yes, absolutely. You
When
need a code
it was
word.
too intense, we had a code word.
Our code word is, because it just means so much.
Yeah.
Pivot your perspective.
Pivot.
Your emotions. Pivot your heart. Pivot. Because we love friends.
Yeah. What this will do is it will allow both of you to process individually so that you can come back and process together. So this has been a marriage myth debunked for you.
I love how you just did that together.
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 Forever.